Hey guys, what's going on? Darren here, and welcome back to the F1 22 My Team Career Mode. And this time, we're at Budapest for the Hungarian Grand Prix. If you haven't checked out the last round, go back, go check it out. It was the French Grand Prix at Paul Ricard, and well, for us, it was a bit of an interesting race. We had a bad qualifying, but in the race, we had a fantastic recovery drive, and we were able to get ourselves back up to P4. Which is important for us if we are to have any hope in this championship. As you can see, Lando Norris won the Grand Prix and made it 2 wins in a row, and he is extending his lead in the Drivers' Championship. This weekend though, we're at Budapest, and we have to try and find a way to close the gap to Lando Norris and get ourselves back in this championship fight. So we're going to dive straight into qualifying for the Hungarian Grand Prix. We've got a busy episode. We're going to do a lot of qualifying today because we really need to get a good position. The last 2 races we've had very poor qualifying sessions. In Austria we were at the back of the grid, but thankfully we were saved by the sprint race, and in France we were also at the back of the grid, and we were saved by having fantastic race pace. Well, this weekend we need to have a good qualifying to start further up the field because Hungary is not an easy circuit to overtake on. And as you can see on our first run, we qualified down in P19. That's not a good first lap, but we have stayed out. We're on the same set of tyres, and we're going to do a second lap, and as you can see, we're going to improve to P14. And now we're going to go right to the end of qualifying. This is our final run, and you can see that we've dropped down to P16, but this is the final run. The track has gripped up a little bit. We're going to go down the inside past Lance Stroll. We pretty much forced him out of the way there. He braked so early for turn 1. We just had to absolutely send it down the inside if we were to have any chance of improving on this lap. We had to get past him, and that is exactly what we did. As you can see, we're currently 2.5, maybe even 3 tenths nearly up on our previous run, and that is perfect for us. You can see we're 2.4 tenths up. Well, 2 tenths and a bit up on Alex Albon for P14. That should probably then see us up to maybe even the top 10. And now through the chicane we go, and we're still about 3 tenths up. Yeah, 3 tenths, maybe even 4 tenths. So things are looking very good for us now. Now, we just got to get through this section. And now, sector number 3. This is where we can make up a lot of time. As you can see, we're half a second up on Lance Stroll. And of course, Stroll is going to be slower than us because we've already overtaken him during this lap. And we're 6 tenths up now, as you can see. As we go around the final couple of corners, we just got 1 hairpin left to go. We're 7 tenths up. What is that going to do for us? Where are we going to be for qualifying? We got out the final corner, and it's a run to the line. And where are we going to be for the Grand Prix?
It's race day in Budapest as we get ready for another round of Formula 1 action. We're not expecting too many retirements at this circuit. There are plenty of current and former drivers with flawless finish rates here. In particular, Ralf Schumacher, who made it across the line in all 10 of his Hungarian Grand Prix starts. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position, and Lando Norris lines up alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Ricciardo, Prost, Max Verstappen, and Sainz, Perez, Bennett, Ocon, and Fernando Alonso, Schwartzman, Albon, and Sir Lewis Hamilton, and Stroll, Oscar Piastri, Magnussen, Pierre Gasly. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. And Théo Pourchaire, Joe, Tsunoda. They've taken a grid penalty. Mick Schumacher and Nicholas Latifi. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway.
Poor old Latifi, he is always at the back of the grid, bless him. Anyway, you can see here we are just before the start of the Grand Prix. We're taking a look at the strategy. And as you can see, we're going to try something a bit different today. We're actually going to go softs and then to 2 sets of mediums. It's normally medium, medium, hard. But we're going to go for soft, medium, medium and see what we can do on these soft compound tyres. And you can see around us, there's a lot of drivers on those soft tyres. So we're not the only one to go for this strategy. Anyway, now we'll wait till those 5 red lights, and when they go out, the Grand Prix will be underway. It's lights out, and away we go. And we get a big kick of oversteer. That's a shocking start for us. We've got a huge kick of oversteer, lost a lot of places. down to P13. But into turn 1, we go down the inside, past 2 cars. Can we get Schwartzman and the Alpine as well of Alonso? We can just about get Robert Schwartzman. I think if we can send it around the outside, we're going to go for it right around the outside of Schwartzman. It turns to the inside for the next corner, of course. And through we go. That's past Schwartzman, but we've lost ground off the line. We lost out to both Ocon and Alonso, and as you can see, that is why. I don't know if you just saw that, but our tyres are already 20% worn. That's the freshest set of soft tyres that we had for this Grand Prix. I didn't really clock that beforehand, but we only had used tyres for the start of this Grand Prix, and they already have 20% wear, which is probably why we were so crap off of the line. That probably explains why we just had no grip, we had no traction, and we lost a lot of time getting off the line. But you can see we made it through there past Fernando Alonso into that chicane. We went straight down the inside, and that was an important move for us because our tyres, I have a feeling, are so much more worn out than everyone else's that, well, we've pretty much done a Ferrari strategy. We have gone full Mattia Binotto, we've gone full 2022 Ferrari, and absolutely bottled it straight away before the race has even started. So, yeah, we needed to make that move stick because I have a feeling he's going to be all over the back of us for the rest of this soft tyre stint. As we go to turn 1 at the start of lap 2, and we almost lose the rear again. Yeah, we are really struggling for grip on these soft tyres. They have no grip at all. And yeah, we have made a shocking strategy call at the beginning of this Hungarian Grand Prix. And we go to the end of lap number 3, and we're already considering pitting in. That's how bad things are. We've only got a couple of laps into this Grand Prix. We're going to stick it out one more lap. But yeah, we are already considering stopping for a fresh set of tyres because these softs have absolutely nothing left to give. And you can see we've got a new strategy on the MFD, and they are suggesting that we stop at the end of this lap. So yeah, even Mark Priestley is saying, yeah, we've got to get you in, we've got to get you on a set of mediums because these softs have nothing left to give. And you can see here's Alonso. Alonso is going to be looking around the outside there. It's going to switch to the inside for the next corner. If he's feeling brave, he's going to go for it, but he just about backs out. But yeah, that says a lot about how much we're struggling because Alonso is all over the back of us. We're now 3.7 seconds behind Ocon as well, and our car is much faster than the Alpine. We just lost so much time because we've got no grip on these soft tyres. We made a huge mistake by starting on the soft tyres, provided that we only had a used set of softs. We didn't have any fresh sets, and well, as you can see, that has backfired massively for us. At the start of this Grand Prix, we're a long way behind everyone, and it's only the start of lap number 5. So we got a lot of work to do in this Hungarian Grand Prix if I think we even want to score any points. That's how much we've screwed it up here today. Yeah, I mean, all I can say is the Ferrari strategy team will be looking down and they'll be smiling because that is a strategy call that they would be proud of, which we did today. Anyway, we go towards the end of lap number 7, and thankfully, because of course we've been on the medium tyres, and it has to be said that the undercut is extremely powerful at Budapest, it's actually kind of turned into a positive for us because it looks like we're going to get a huge jump on a lot of cars around us that started on those soft tyres. And you can see there's signs of Ricciardo that were a long way ahead of us, but we found a way past both of these guys by getting an absolutely massive undercut on them. And we go towards the end of lap number 8, and look at this, Charles Leclerc, he's stuck in traffic. These 3 cars in front of him are yet to stop in this Grand Prix. Well, one of them's in now, but there's 2 cars in front of Leclerc who's yet to stop in this Grand Prix, and they have cost Charles a huge amount of time, as Leclerc finally, with the DRS, is going to find a way down the inside past the Go-Tifi. And you can see we're going to go to the race director just to see what people are going on. And yeah, you can see there's a lot of guys who started on mediums, and a lot of the guys who started on softs are now in for a set of mediums. So yeah, they're all on a 2-stop strategy, and Leclerc there, absolutely beautiful. That's a double overtake by Charles Leclerc. He got both Nicholas Latifi and Zhou Guanyu down the inside with a beautiful double overtake there. So Charles Leclerc doing what he needs to do if he's to have any hope of getting back in this championship fight. He is a very, very long way behind. Charles Leclerc, of course, won the first 2 championships But in Season 3, he has had absolutely zero luck and, quite frankly, zero pace. So, yeah, he needs to do a lot of work if he's to get back in this championship fight. As we go down the inside there on Nicholas Latifi. Easy pass past him there. And next up for us is Zhou Guanyu. But look at the time that Charles Leclerc has opened up by getting past those guys as early as possible. He has opened a 3-second gap in front of us as we've been stuck behind Zhou Guanyu. And down the inside we go into turn 1. We finally find a way past Mr. Zhou Guanyu. So that is us now up to P11 in this Grand Prix. And as more people dive into the pits to make their first of 2 scheduled stops, that's going to move us up to P7. And next up is young Teo Porcher, our former teammate, of course, in the Pulse Motorsports car. But at the end of lap number 12, into the pits comes Mr. Teo Porcher. And that's going to see us now up to P6 in this Grand Prix. And there's Alain Prost in front of us. Alain Prost has gone out in front of us. Prost had a full pit stop advantage over us there, and Prost, he comes out in P5, and we're going to be in P6 in this Grand Prix. But look about this behind us. We've got Daniel Ricciardo all over the back of us here, and Daniel Ricciardo, I fear, could be finding a way past us any time now, as our medium tyres are starting to run out of grip. As I said, you get a huge undercut here in Budapest, and that's because the tyre wear is so aggressive. And what that means is we are really struggling as the 2 Red Bulls come in to make their first of 2 scheduled stops as they go from the mediums to the softs. But here goes Ricciardo down the inside into turn 1. Can he make it stick? Yes, he can. Through goes Ricciardo. Ricciardo takes the place, and I don't think we can do anything about it. No, we can't. Ricciardo, he has, on pure pace alone, just taken P5 away from us, so that is us now down to P6 in this Grand Prix. Daniel Ricciardo with a very important overtake there to get past us, and he is surely now going to open up a huge gap. And look at that, it's a 1.5 second gap to us as we're now coming under threat from Carlos Sainz. Carlos Sainz is going to look to go. He's going to have to go the long way round as we go defensive. And we managed to just about hold the position from Sainz, but he gets a good exit from turn 1. He's going to go the long way round into turn 2. But we lock up and run wide. That kind of forces Sainz out of the way. But Sergio Perez goes down the inside past both myself and Sainz. And Sergio Perez finds a way up to P6 as we drop down to P7 in this Grand Prix. As now Mark wants us to come into the pits as we go to the end of lap number 16. And look at that, the front left has punctured. We've got a front left puncture. Fernando Alonso goes through. Sainz goes through. Ocon goes through. Lewis Hamilton goes through. We've got no grip because we've got a front left puncture. Our race is going from bad to worse. I don't know if this race can go any worse for us. We've just lost another whole heap of positions as through goes Schwartzman, and through also now goes a long list of other cars as we dive into the pits quite early to make our second and hopefully final scheduled stop in this Grand Prix, as we're going to try and go now onto the hard compound tyres and just hope and pray that they can take us to the end of the Grand Prix. They've got to do, though, half a Grand Prix, and that's a long way to go on the hard tyres with this tyre wear mod. But we've just got to try it. We've got to try it because we are otherwise in a lot of trouble if we've got to do a 3-stop here today. A 3-stop would just be a disaster for us. But as we go to the end of lap 19, as you can see, we've got a power unit failure. And that is the end of our Hungarian Grand Prix. A disastrous race weekend comes to an early finish. And you know what? For us, that's probably a good thing that it's come to an early finish, because we weren't looking too good for a good result here today. But it's out of the race for us in the Pulse Motorsports.
There'll be smiles at the factory after that one. A great race and a real team performance to take victory here in Hungary. Natalie Pinkham, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
I think it was clear what the main contributing factor out of the track was: speed. It sounds like an awfully reductive statement, but fast cars win races, and we saw that today with our winner.
Our winning drivers are on their way to the podium right now. It's been a fantastic race for McLaren, that's for sure. And no doubt, they'll be celebrating tonight.
So a good win. That's 3 wins in a row for Lando Norris. And it's got to say, it's feeling a little bit dominant now by Lando Norris. He's probably extended his lead now to a huge, huge gap. That's going to be very difficult for us to overcome after this season break. We need a good season break. We need Pulse Motorsports to get back on track after this mid-season break, which of course means that we're going to be taking Christmas off, and the next video is probably not going to be until after Christmas, if I'm honest. Anyway, here we go at the end of this Grand Prix. Lando Norris wins the Hungarian Grand Prix from Alain Prost in 2nd place, Charles Leclerc 3rd, Max Verstappen in 4th, Daniel Ricciardo in 5th, Carlos Sainz 6th, Sergio Perez finishes 7th, Fernando Alonso in 8th, Esteban Ocon 9th, and Lewis Hamilton rounds out the top 10 here today at Budapest. And we had 2 DNFs from the Grand Prix. That was Alex Albon and of course myself in the Pulse Motorsports. As we go to the driver standings now, Lando Norris extends his lead massively to 36 points from us in 2nd place. Sergio Perez is 3rd, and Alain Prost is in 4th place in the Drivers' Championship. As we go to the Constructors now, Pulse Motorsport still leads the Constructors' Championship, but McLaren is closing up. So guys, I hope you enjoyed that video, and if you did, of course, as always, comment, leave a like, and if you haven't already, of course, subscribe to the channel for more F1 content. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.